Hello everybody, it's Barry with Keep It Simple Paper Crafts, and I'm here today as we go through how to create the rainbow shaker cards from this Keep It Simple kits. These are great, easy to do, easy to put together, and it comes with everything you need to create 2 cards. All you do is have to supply is your wet glue. So shall we get started? First, let me show you what's all inside the kits. Inside your kits, you get 2 card bases, one portrait and one landscape. You get the 2 background. They're already printed for you. Then you get your frames with sunshine embellishments, 2 of those, 4 sunshines. Then you get your background panels for the front of your cards. You get your 2 acetate foam adhesives. They are adhesive on both sides, so it makes it easy to put down and to glue down. We'll show you how to make those. It comes with all the different colored shaker bits. It comes with your frames and your little sentiments that you can all punch out and customize to your heart's content. So let's get started. The first thing now is let's do one card. Both of them go together exactly the same way. So let's start with our portrait. Now, when you get your kit, you're going to see that the printed side is on the outside. Actually, that's going to be the inside of your card. So what we're going to do is just turn it over. Okay, give it a good crease right here. Now you've got the front, and you open it up, and here is the inside of your card, which is the printed side. So what we want to do first here is to put on our background. Let's go ahead and start with one. We're going to go ahead and glue this on. Now I'm using wet glue only because I have a little bit of wiggle, okay? And I like using the wet glue for that reason, okay? Now this should fit on the whole front side of your card so that nothing is showing, no white is showing. Okay, and there we go. All right, there's that. So let's go ahead and put that off to the side, and let's start with our shaker element. You're going to take one of them right here, and they're both exactly the same. We're going to use one that's on a portrait and one that's landscape. But first, the portrait. First of all, what you'll need to do is just punch out all these individual pieces between the rainbow. So all the rainbow beams. Punch those all out as carefully as you can, keeping the protective cover on the adhesive. Keep it on, so don't pull off the adhesive. Just pull out the beams and try as best you can just to keep the paper all still on your rainbow. Okay, just like that. And take your time with this. Don't want to rip anything or rip it. Just as far as your actual rainbow. Okay, there we go. There it is. So now you've got your rainbow. These pieces are double stick adhesive, right? So you can use those on another project. So don't throw those away because you can cut those to be dimensionals. So we'll put those off to the side. All right, so now this is the front of your card. And how I know that is there's a little triangle up here on the upper right-hand side. So this is your upper right corner, the front side. So what I want to do is turn it over to the back, grab your panel, your colored panel rainbow, and you've got the upper blue triangle, light blue triangle up here on the top right. So what you're going to do is turn it over here like this, okay? Now, here's a fun thing, is that this adhesive, foam adhesive, has an outer frame and then the inner rainbow. I'm going to keep both of those together, and I'm going to use that to my benefit to lay it down just easy. So what I'm going to do is lightly punch out or punch down the rainbow. Now see what I'm doing here? see what I've done? I've just made a little ledge with the outside frame at the very bottom. Okay, and then very gently what I want you to do is to take off and remove just that inner portion of, as best you can. Okay, just that inner. You might have to rip a little bit, but it's okay. If it all of it comes off, it's going to be fine because you're going to glue it onto your card. But what I want to do is try to keep that outer frame paper all intact. Okay? And then when you get it, you notice that this is all sticky now. It's all ready to go. Okay? All right. So I'm making sure that that corner is going to match in this corner. What I want you to do is, because this is real sticky, once you lay it down, it's going to be hard. You will not be able to get this up. So what I want you to do is put it down here, line it up at the bottom, and see how I use that elevated edge of that outside frame to gently place it down. And there it is. Now turn it over, and now you can see you've got the colored portion just right even for your background of your rainbow. Got it? And your protective cover is still on. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is let's take our rainbow shakers, okay? And what I like to do is you're going to fill your wells of your beams. What I do is I just strip off a little bit here, just strip off the top here. Okay, now these will probably go everywhere, but what I do then is I gently place it in here, just where I cut it open, and gently put some in there, just like that. Okay, and now you only want to do half of them because we're going to do the other card with the other. Okay, now let's do the blue. Do it the exact same way. You can do it either way. You can do it the long way or the short way. I'm going to do this. Now they're going to be a little staticky, and that's okay. But they're going to shake beautifully. And I just push that in there and then just release a little bit. Release a little bit in that beam, in that groove. And then hold those others for another time. We're going to go with the green now. I'm getting these a little bit all over. Like I told you, they're a little staticky. Okay, and I'm going to again just fill them up as best as possible. Remember, you've got 2 cards to make. There we go. Give it a little tap. And we got the light pink now. And again, just a little bit. Okay, because these are so staticky, just be very gentle. Take your time. And then we'll do the bright red. The last one. Okay. Gently put those in here. Many as you like, but don't use them all. Because again, we have 2 cards to make. You should have plenty. Okay, and there you go. Now all your shaker bits are in there. Now what we need to do is cover them up. Now, oh, I forgot to tell you that there are, in this kit, there are also 2 envelopes. So you're ready to go. Once you get these ready, made, you can send them because you've got the envelopes already. And inside the envelopes, it's nice of them to do this, is there's the 2 acetate windows. Okay, so now we're ready to enclose our little shaker bits. And we're going to do that exact same technique. We're going to push down very gently because these will want to pop out. Just to give it some ease, just pop that outer frame up just a bit to give you a little ledge to position it easy. And then with just release that inner portion to release that adhesive, that protective cover, just like that. Be very gentle so you don't, and it's going to be sticky, and there's that. We don't want this. Okay, and with your acetate, go ahead and do that exact same thing. Place it in that little groove there, and then just gently lay it down. And then run your finger over to smooth it down. And there you go. And give it a little shake. Look at that, isn't that great? You got it. So now what we need to do is, if you'll see these, we want to cover up this plastic, our acetate covering. And that's where these come in. So again, we're going to look for the frame that has, they're both exactly the same, but the one we're going to start with is that corner triangle. And then we're going to rip out the beams, just like we did with the foam adhesive. We're going to undo these. Now these should punch out real nice and easy. Okay. And you'll see that the outside of this has a little blue, if you can see that, a little blue stitching. Okay. That will be your outside. This is garbage. We can throw this away. And then with your wet glue, go ahead and do a little bit of glue. Okay. Just a little bit on the outside there. If you want, you can do a little line of glue on the white little beams as well. Okay. And then again, you're going to turn it over and then place it down right on top to cover up that acetate, that clear acetate. It gives it a finished look. I did get a little bit of extra glue, but that's okay, it'll dry clear. All right, now you've got everything done on this except for you've got a choice here. And what I suggest you do is take a look. We're going to pull out our card and look what this is going to go right on here like this. Now, you've got this outer frame and you've got your outer frame here, and this has got the little sunshine that we'll put together here in just a second. But you'll want to pull this off, and now you can do it either way. You can release this right now and place this on top of to give the whole thing a popped up feel. I like that idea. Or you can also, just to show you, you can remove this frame like so. Just remove it, have that just in the center of it, and then the frame would go flush against the frame would go flush against the card base, just like that. So you can have just your rainbow popping up and the frame. We're going to do one like this, and we'll do the second one with keeping the frame on to give you an idea. And then again, if you don't use this, you can save this because you can cut this up and use it for another project. Okay, so we're going to hold on to that. But for now, let's go ahead. Okay, let's turn this over. Now this will all need to be glued. So now that I've got it in place, I'm going to use my wet glue, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue this down, just like so. Okay, turn it around, make sure I got my card right. Yep, so my rainbow is facing the right direction, and then I just glue that down like this. Okay, and there it is. So now you've got that. Now you just need to decorate it. So on the cover, you can see some different ways how they did it. They did it like this. I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to use my sunshine. I'm going to punch that out. just one of them. And then with a little glue, I'm going to add the little circle, the little yellow circle on the orange beams of the sun, and put that there, and that creates your little sunshine. Okay. Now over here, I'm ready to go. I've got, oh, it came with all these different little, the kit comes with all these different hearts, little sentiments, all these different things, and clouds. So you can choose what kind of sentiment you'd like to put on your card and on the inside of your card. It also comes with these, also some more sentiments on these. Now these frames, as you will see, will go on the inside of your card. So keep that in mind when you're designing your card, that you've got a lot of different options for you. We're going to go back to this in just a second because we're going to do the inside of our card. All right, so here, I'm going to do this one. I've got already picked out what I'm going to do here. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this large cloud down at the bottom, just straight across here. Okay, so it looks like the rainbow is coming in here. And then I'm going to do my sunshine. Just add a little bit of glue here. Put that about right there. And then with this one, I'm going to go ahead, like I said, and going to use a little bit of one of these little beams that we took off, and I'm going to cut a little bit to give it some dimension. That's all. I'm going to cut that in half there, and then I'm going to release that adhesive on both sides, and I'm going to go ahead and plop that down there, and then I'm going to put this right over the top like so. I think, yeah, I like it like this, right here. It gives it a little bit of dimension. And then they got a little heart here. I kind of like how they did this. A little bit of wet glue. Put that little heart right there on that sunshine. And then I chose to do rainbow wishes. So I'll take a little wet glue there and plop that right here. And you can add some more if you want to do another cloud up here, whatever you want to do. You've got a lot of different sort of things that you can put in, a lot of different embellishments that can go on this card or save them for something else. So now let's do the inside, because we want to have our inside decorated just as well. So now remember, we have these. We've got Rainbow Dreams. They both punch out on this one. We're going to use this little outer frame. Put this off to the side. We're not going to use these on this card, possibly. And then this, just a little line of glue again. And what this little frame does, it ties in the front of your card, which I really like how this kit added that, because we have that stitched frame on the front, and we're going to put that stitched frame right on the inside as well. Just like that. And because my front says Rainbow Wishes, I'm going to put Happy Birthday to You on the inside. And I've got these already out. I found these. There we go. Kind of like this. Okay. So I'm going to glue my birthday down first. There we go. Right like that. And then I like my little happy. Glues down. I like it about right there in that little opening. I'm tucking it a little bit behind there. And then this one, To You, I'm going to glue that down. And I think I want to put this just a little bit right over the Y there on the birthday. Now I'm going to bring in all these little pieces again, because I kind of want to put a little a little cloud right up here. And I think maybe another little cloud. Yeah, right up there. And of course, just like we did in the front, let's add a couple little hearts. Let's add a green heart this time. Put that right there. And how about a pink heart on this one? Up here. And let's add a blue one. Right sort of next to it, like that. There we go. All right. And there is card number 1 is done. And the finished inside. Isn't that cute? So now let's go on and do your second card, which is exactly the same way. So let's take this, and now will be landscape. So we're going to do this like this, and we're going to start with this is the inside of the card. We're going to turn it around, give it a nice crease. And we got this blank slate to work with. We're going to take our really beautiful patterned paper and glue that on the front. And again, this should go on the whole front side. The whole front, there should be no white showing. And again, I put it on there, and I've got that little bit of wiggle room to put it just right. See that? Okay. And there it is. Let's put that off to the side. Let's pick up your background and your acetate, or not your acetate, your foam. Let's punch out those beams again. Now remember, your little triangle, your little blue triangle on this one is going to be in your upper left. Okay. All right. Again, just carefully pull these out. They should come out just fine. All right. And again, I want you to save these pieces because you can use these, because every bit of this foam adhesive is usable. As long as you keep that protective cover on it, you can use it. And then you cut that up to whatever you want to use it for. Here it is. All right. So now, here is our front. Well, actually, we want it to go like this. Okay, so here's your front with that little triangle on your upper left. So if you kind of look and see that, that's how that's going to look. So let's turn it over. Okay. Now, just like we did before, let's go ahead and just pop up that outer frame just a little bit. Pop it up to give you that little bit of, you can use this to place down your background, and then just release the backing of the rainbow itself, just that inner portion, just like that. See how easy that is? Just like that. Before we glue it down, I want to make sure that my triangle and my triangle match. They do, that triangle and that triangle. I'm going to go ahead and place it in that groove so it's nice and snug up against that, and just lay it down. Just roll it down in there, and then with your finger, go ahead and make sure it's glued down just right. Let's turn it over, and there it is. Isn't that great? There we go. So now, again, we're ready to put the sprinkles in. And again, I'm going to go with the dark red. I'm going to put in some here. There we go. And we got our pinks. And by opening up just this little, and then dropping the edge of it into works really well. As you can see what I'm doing here. The green, now I'm putting that open portion of my sprinkles inside the well and then just letting those sprinkle bits fall in place. Okay. And then the blue. And again, they're going to be kind of very staticky. That's fine. And I did get a blue one there, but you know, there it is. Simple as that. Okay, let's go ahead and do the last one here. A little purple. There we go. Beautiful. Stick those in. Okay, and then again, we're going to take back your acetate, which is inside the envelope. And just like we did on the back side, let's go ahead and very carefully again, just lift up that outer frame just a little bit to give you that ledge that helps place your acetate correctly on. And then gently release that inner protective cover on the rainbow itself. Very carefully. Don't want it to pop my beads out, my little shaker bits out. And then with your acetate, go ahead and line it up against that edge there. Lay it down and roll it into place. There we go. Give it a little, make sure it's all stuck on there. And then give it a shake. Look at that. Isn't that cute? That is so cute. Okay, let's bring your card back in. Now, we're going to, the first card we took off this frame. We wanted just our rainbow to have it sticking up and our frame behind it flat. This time we're going to keep the frame on to see which one you like. Now again, we're going to take our frame, it's the polka dot one, okay? And what we're going to do is release this outer frame, this, okay? And then gently place it on the adhesive. Now remember, this adhesive is extremely sticky. So I just take my time. Take my time putting it in there, okay? There we go. You may have a little bit, but that's okay. A little bit of sticky on the outside, but that's okay. Okay, so now there is the frame popped. Now let's glue it onto the top of here. Now since this is the other part of the adhesive of the foam, we just have to release that and then go ahead and place it down in the center. Push it in, it should stick just great. And there it is. Isn't that cute? Okay. And then just like what we did the last time, let's go ahead and grab your little design elements. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to use this big cloud. Just going to glue him down right here. I like that about, I think, let's do that. Yeah, I like that idea. And then I'm going to do the other sun. Now on the other ones, you've got 4 suns, so you could even put another sun on the inside. Or save them for others. Save it for another card. So these we can save for another card. All right, again, let's just glue a little here. Do that. Let's put some glue on here. And glue it right here. Here's this little cloud again, and just like we did before, let's use a little bit of this. A little bit of our foam adhesive. release the protective cover, and let's go ahead and put that on right here. Give it some dimension. And then let's put this little pink heart on the sunshine. I think that's kind of a cute idea. Just like that. And then for this one, I kind of like to put this right here. But again, we'll want to pop this up a bit. So let's take some of this. Now this is going to be a little bit too big for it, but hey, we can make this work. Let's just do this. Cut off a little bit. Let's stick this, make sure I get it right. Yep. Let's peel off that. You see how I can use these little pieces for my other projects or for this project by just placing this here. Let's adding a little glue here. And let's stick that right like so. See how that works? And then let's pull up. There it is. That fun. I like it. Okay, let's do the inside now. Opening it up. Now you've got your other one. Comes with this little frame. There we go. It got caught up in it. But it comes with the little sentiments and the little frame, little line of glue. And again, this just goes right over here and just gives it a clean, finished look that matches the front of our card. I forgot to put that on there. This goes on top of here. Forgot to do this one, but still, it looks just fine, even without it. So, as you can kind of see, you've got the one with the little light blue marks and one without. It looks just fine, actually. I just forgot to put in this piece, but that's okay, because that looks really good. So now we're back to the inside here. I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do thanks for all you do. So I'm going to glue on my thanks. Put that right in the center there. And then for all you do, I kind of want this to go right there. Like that. And then let's bring in our other pieces here. Let's add a little cloud. Let's add a cloud over here and down here. Let's add one right here. Glue. Let's add one right there. And let's add another one down here. Let's add some hearts. Let's do, I kind of want that purple one. I like this purple heart here because it matches the purple of my sentiment. We're going to put that one right here. And then I think I'm going to go, since I like a little bit of opposite, let's put a little orange one right next to it like that. And there you go. There's the outside of my card and the inside of my card. Wonderful. And also too is that since this kit does come with these shaker bits, you can also do and use, Keep It Simple has all these other different shaker bits. Now here is ones that are the little, I guess what would you call these? Little sprinkles? Little like cupcake sprinkles in all these different colors. And I made one, as you can see here. Here's one that I made using those. used those little sprinkles to create my little rainbow, which works really well. We've also got a lot of other different things too. There's some beads, some really beautiful beads that add a sparkle. You can add those as well. Now, if you'd like to do more on your own, we have a die cut, which is an A2. It's called the A2 Frames number 7. It's the rainbow die, and it comes with the die and the outside of the frame. So you can cut these out and do them over and over and over again. So if you get the die itself, you can cut as many as you want. And then the acetate, the 6x9 foam adhesive and the acetate sheets. This is what we use to make these, is the acetate sheets and the foam adhesive. What I love about this is the foam adhesive and the acetate are 6x9. Every bit of this can be used. What's also very good is that the acetate sheets come in 3 different widths, or widths, yeah. A 2mm, a 3mm, and a 4mm. This one we use is a 4mm, and it does cut through your die cuts. You may have to finagle with your machine, whatever machine you use, but it does cut through. I've got another video that shows you how I do all 3 sizes. But this is really good, so if you have just some small little, like this would be just fine. These, what we use, would be fine using the 2mm because they're not thick beads. But if you wanted to use maybe a thicker bead, you might want to go with the 4mm so that the beads will have a chance to flow a little bit easier. And that is it for me today. I hope you have fun, and I hope you get a chance to try out these rainbow kits from Keep It Simple. Very simple to make, and yet they make such a great impact. And if you enjoy the kits, make sure you get the die cut. Maybe add some sprinkles to your mix to add a little bit of different shaker bits inside your rainbows. And just have fun and experiment with them. They are a lot of fun. The paper and the stamp set, we have the stamp set that makes these little things, may all your dreams come true, rainbow. We also have that stamp set as well. It is called, mine's been used quite a bit, it is called Sunshine and Rainbows. So a little something to brighten your day. Sunny days are headed your way. We have this sentiment stamp too that goes with well, anything really, but I use this a lot because it's, hello, sweet friend, I can use that on anything. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have fun, and until next time, I look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.